Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome the arrival of the Dean of Faculty of Medicine, University Malaya, Professor Datuk Dr. Yang Faridah Abdul Aziz, accompanied by the Honorable Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid Jalaludin, Professor of Pediatrics, Faculty of Medicine, University Malaya. take a seat, Professor Yang Farida and Professor Yazid, along with the audience. Melayang serindit di atas permatang, merbah berkicau di hujung muara, pemanis kata selamat datang, awal bismillah pembuka bicara. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera diucapkan kepada semua hadirin yang dihormati sekalian. Selamat datang ke Syarahan Perdana Profesor Dr. Muhammad Yazid Jalaludin pada hari yang berbahagia ini. Izinkan saya untuk bertutur dalam bahasa Inggeris untuk sama-sama meraihkan para hadirin dari luar negara. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend our warmest welcome to Yang Berbahagia Prof. Datuk Dr. Yang Farida Abdul Aziz, the Dean of Faculty of Medicine of University Malaya. Yang Berusaha Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid Jalaludin, Professor of Pediatrics for the Faculty of Medicine. Yang Berbahagia Professor Datuk Dr. Anwar Zaini Madzin, our former VC of University Malaya. Yang Berusaha Professor Dr. Nazira Hasnan, Director of University Malaya Medical Center. Management of Faculty of Medicine and also the management of University Malaya Medical Center. Distinguished guests, professors, doctors, ladies and gentlemen who are joining the inaugural lecture virtually and physically today. I am Dr. Nur Amanda from the Department of Pediatrics, Master of Ceremony for today. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you to this momentous occasion and the inaugural lecture of Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid Jalaludin. And before we proceed further, I would like to call upon Dr. Daniel for prayer recitation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala syarfi anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma Rahman ya Rahim. We gather today to express gratitude upon your greatest gift towards us on this blessed day in conjunction with the inaugural lecture by my mentor, Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid Jalaludin. We ask for your help and guidance. Ya Allah, kindly give us strength and courage to face all the struggles and gain a wide range of knowledge. Kindly bestow blessings, physical and spiritual health, fitness of mind, peace of mind and strength of spirit. Allahumma ya Azizu ya Qahar, Ya Allah, please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah. Guide us to greatness, peace, glory and prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Make us a responsible intellectual. Grant us with a valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind in order to gain our madatilah. Ya Allah, give strength to our teachers and our leaders to continue to serve people, society, nation, and religion. Ya Allah, bestow peace to our beloved country. Preserve us from any threat and disaster, neither man-made nor natural disaster. And to you, Ya Allah, we ask for security and prosperity upon us, our leaders, and our country. Bestow patience in us in order to face the challenges from you. Please accept our deed and reward us accordingly. Ya Allah, we seek your blessing for flawless progress of this event from the beginning till the end. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel. So a professor's inaugural lecture is one of University Malaya's cherished traditions, and this lecture honors the professional journey taken by our professors and provides an opportunity for them to share their wisdom, inspirations, and philosophies. It is a privilege to be present today for the inaugural lecture by Professor Yazid, an esteemed and profoundly dedicated professor of pediatrics of the Faculty of Medicine in University Malaya. Today, Professor Yazid will be sharing his journey with us in this inaugural lecture entitled Pediatric Endocrinologist as a Change Agent. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to invite the Dean of Faculty of Medicine, Professor Dr. Yang Farida, to chair the lecture and introduce Professor Yazid. Please welcome.
Yang Berusaha, Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid Jalaludin, Professor of Pediatrics, Department of Pediatrics, Faculty of Medicine. Yang berbahagia, Professor Datuk Dr. Anwar Zaini Mat Zain, former Dean of the Medical Faculty as well as former Vice Chancellor of University Malaya. Welcome again back to Faculty, Prof. Datuk. Yang Berusaha, Professor Dr. Nazira Hasnan, Director, University Malaya Medical Center. Yang Berusaha, Associate Professor Tengku Shahrizal, our Deputy Dean of Student Affairs, Faculty of Medicine, University Malaya. Management of Faculty of Medicine, Management of University Malaya Medical Center, distinguished guests, professors, doctors, ladies and gentlemen, who are joining the inaugural lecture virtually as well as physically today. And I can see that you all are waiting for Yazid to start his inaugural. Very, very nice turnout. Thank you very much for coming to this tradition of the faculty. And I want to say something about Yazid, of course. Now, if you had not heard just now, I coughed. And I coughed quite badly. I think all of you were like reeling back and saying, okay, we're not going to sit near her. But this is Yazid's inaugural lecture, and I could not be here for him. Dr. Muhammad Yazid Jalaludin is a distinguished pediatric endocrinologist who has emerged as a leader in the field of pediatric healthcare, particularly in addressing the complexities of childhood endocrine and metabolic disorders. Born in 1972 in a small town in Lenggong, Perak, he received the primary education at SRK Bukit Balai, Lenggong, and SRK Anglo-Chinese School, Ipoh, before going off to Mara Junior Science College at Balik Pulau, Penang, where he completed his secondary education. He was then admitted to Pusat Asasi Sains at University Malaya, and there starts his deep loyalty to the faculty and the university. He went on to obtain his MBBS degree at University Malaya, the batch of 1992-1997, my junior, and doing a Master's of Pediatrics in 2004 as a trainee lecturer. When he became an academic staff at Faculty of Medicine, University Malaya, he started to hone his interest in obesity, diabetes, and growth in children. Dr. Yazid then completed his fellowship in pediatric endocrinology and diabetes at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, USA in 2009, probably the 1 year he went away from University Malaya. But we are very happy that he decided to come back and serve us. Now, Dr. Yazid, within his career, has celebrated several firsts. He initiated the opening of the first adolescent ward in Southeast Asia, as well as the only child health clinic within a hospital in the country. He pioneered the use of growth hormone for Prader-Willi syndrome patients and Icrelex for Laron syndrome in Southeast Asia. Not surprisingly, he is an active researcher with substantial grants and author of various academic journals and textbook chapters in the field of pediatric obesity, metabolic syndrome, types 1 and 2 diabetes, endocrine disorders, and malnutrition. Notably are 2 articles published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 2019 and 2024, respectively. He has been invited to speak in many conferences and workshops, both locally and internationally, winners of multiple awards. Most recent of them and most notable was the award he received as the Outstanding Asian Pediatrician Award in Cebu, Philippines during the Asia Pacific Congress of Pediatrics in 2024. Now, with all that he is doing and has done, you would think he has had his hands full, but not Yazid. The consummate team player, he found time to serve as the head of Department of Pediatrics from 2016 to 2019 and is now the Deputy Dean of Undergraduate Studies since 2011. I have known Dr. Yazid for a very long time. And apart from all these accolades, I can tell you, Yazid is all heart, caring for his students and patients passionately. I remembered recently, both Yazid and I attended an interview of one of our students that was going to be receiving the Anugerah Pelajaran Diraja. And when we interviewed him, and as Kasiban retold his story of the hardship that he went through, both Yazid and I cried. That told me two things. Number one, that I've got a friend that will cry alongside me in this faculty. I'm sure I can find more, but at that moment I just found him. And number two, Yazid and I can never be in an interview panel together when there is a chance of something very meaningful or very tragic or very emotional will be displayed, because we were both a mess. So, and if you ever want to visit Lenggong, please visit Rumah Tiang 16, Kampung Kubang Jambu, where he was born at home, because now it is an internationally known homestay underpinning community-based tourism concept owned by his brother. And I wonder whether the bed where you were born is festooned with flowers and adulations as how benefiting you. So please welcome Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid Jalaludin with his inaugural lecture titled Pediatric Endocrinologist as a Change Agent. Take it away, Yazid.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Good morning to some of my friends online. Thank you so much, Professor Datuk Dr. Yang Farida, for the very kind introduction. I'd like to also welcome Professor Datuk Dr. Anwar Zaini Madzin, our ex-VC, someone that I look high up to. You'll see later why. Prof. Nazira Hasnat, thank you so much for coming. I know you're very busy, but thank you so much for that. And to all my colleagues from Department of Pediatrics, my colleague from my batch 97, Datuk Bashir, flies from Penang today to come and just listen to me. My in-law, my parent, my mom, I know my mom is not very well, but she tried. She tried so hard to come. Terima kasih, Mak. Okay. This is Lenggong. UNESCO World Heritage Site and Geopark. Thank you. For those of you who would like to visit Lenggong, you can always go to Facebook, TikTok, IG, which I do not have. You just put there Rumah Tiang 16 and you would be there. Prof. Nazira has been there. Dr. Muhazmi has been there. All right. I also like to first thank Prof. Nazira for actually bringing the health outreach health outreach program and education to Lenggong very recently, just few months back. As for your knowledge, Lenggong up till now does not have a hospital. We only have Klinik Kesihatan. That's where I was born. That's my dad, my late dad. You can see that he graduated from UM at the age of 38 from Faculty of Art. with 5 children at that time. And my mom was really taking care of us, all 5. My mom is a housewife. So that's me. On your far left, you would know who the person is. I'm smaller than my younger brother. That's the reason why I do so much on growth, to make sure that people don't be too small. When you're small, you don't get to become prefect. Even though you're number 1 every year in and out, in your class and in your standard, just because of the size. And the one on your right side, bottom, that is after SPM. That's my mom and my dad and myself. Before I embarked into Pusat Asasi Science. These are some, I usually don't like to take photos. That's why you don't see me that many photos. Only more recently, because I have to represent the administration. So I have to take photos with everyone and smile. Recently, 168 students and my staff was telling me, Prof, you have to smile for all the 168. Yes, I smile. So that's me, if you can see, and also Prof. Kanan, Dr. Kanan is a cardiologist that took me in my year 3. He has this habit of bringing his student to his house at the end of posting. So there we were. I think you can find me easily there. And this is me, if you can find my name there, in MRSM Balik Pulau. That's my teacher, Cikgu Hasran, the one on your right side, left side. He's my BM teacher, 5 years with him. And he was the one that told me, you can still teach if you want to become a doctor. That's the reason why I took up academic. Because I just want to be a teacher like my father. This is our group, 97. I was the head of the class from year 1 until year 5. Every year I came down to the, really down to the floor and asked anyone who wants to take that up, but no one. At that time, there's no phone. So whenever a teacher did not come to class, I have to run to all the department to find. There was no Merdu at that time, Prof. Jamuna. So I had to go and find all these lecturers who did not come to class. That's the reason why I'm now, as a deputy dean, I have to make sure that no one skipped the class, and it's only with my signature they can change their timing. I know how it is as a student, and this was in year 2022, 25 years alumni gathering. That's the first gathering of our class, where I managed to get more than 40 of my classmates to attend and came and visit the faculty. 40 of them became life member of alumni, and we actually collected 40,000 on that one day for alumni. My journey. Why Prof. Anwar Zaini is here. As the dean in 1997, during the convocation, he came and whispered to me. I still remember till now. You were number 11 in your class, he said. Do you want to come back to UM? So I told him, yes. I actually asked for PPUM. At that time, you see hospital. I was one of the 5 of my classmates who were the HO in UMMC. First posting, pediatrics. First day in oncology. Prof. Jesse was a lecturer, very lucky. Yeah. At the end of the posting, I got called to the head of department room. I was asking, what did I do wrong? What have I done to be called by the head of department the last week of my HO posting? Because you know Prof. Lin. Those of you who do not know Prof. Lin, yeah, jarang senyum, but very kind-hearted. He asked me whether I want to do pediatrics. And I told him I would like to go to all the other departments to see where do I suit best. And in ONG, Prof. Siva called me as well. Prof. Siva called me within the week that we had a maternal death. I was shaking because I was worried whether, I have to answer all those queries on maternal death. But again, Prof. Siva asked me, do you want to do ONG? I was like, I like the obstetric because of the babies, but not so much of the gynae. Very sorry. I'm not good with my hands. Yeah. So I left University Hospital in 1998 after the housemanship, went off to Ministry of Health in Sabak Bernam and in Kajang. I did not do pediatrics because I was chucked in district hospital. You become everybody. You're not a you don't do pediatrics. And at that time, Prof. Asma was the head of department. Thank you, Prof. She brought me in basically as a SLAT trainee. And Prof. Siti Lim and Prof. Fatima, who were my supervisors during master's program. Prof. Siti Lim as my academic supervisor and Prof. Fatima as my research supervisor. I went on then, after finishing my master's, to do pediatric endocrinology, as what Prof. Yang mentioned just now, at Children's Hospital, Philadelphia, very far away. And I told Prof. Fatima and I told the university that I want to go there to complete 2 years of the program, basically joining their program. And at the end of it, I received a certificate. I also be part of the study on teplizumab, a monoclonal antibody, who was recently been approved by FDA to be used for newly diagnosed type 1 diabetes, to stop the progression of type 1 diabetes. That was in 2013. The paper was published. That is my supervisor there, Prof. Steve Willie. I've not seen him for almost 10 years, only more recently that I met him every year in ISPAD meeting. So this is the most recent one in Lisbon. At CHOP, I told Prof. Fatima and I told that I want to go there for 2 years. And my visa is only one entry visa. If I come back, I can't go back. So I decided I bring my kids and my wife. My son was about 6. My daughter was 2. When we arrived there, we don't know anybody. It's just through email trying to ask help. At the airport, I told my wife, we just go to any hotel near to the place. We just stay there for a while until we get a house. But we are very lucky. Mr. David and Katlina at that time picked us up at the airport without me knowing. He just came and asked me, are you Yazid from Malaysia? Yes, I said, yeah. At that time, yes, like so relieved. And we stayed at a place, it doesn't look this nice, okay? This is the second house. The first house were very near to the suburb. Every single night, you will, every weekend nights, you will hear gunshot. My son's school have bomb threat twice within a month. So we decided to move out. We lost 3 months of booking. How much is that? I have to sell my car. You have to pay another 3 months, yeah, for booking to this apartment. That's how it is, how difficult it is to be somewhere away from your country. But at least at the end of that 2 years, I learned a lot. I learned how to do research, 6 months of full course of research, and become a proper RA. Nearly FDA came and, really scrutinized because we completed recruitment earlier than everybody else. I mean, that's how it is, usually, with me. I do not want to play around. And my boss was telling me, who is going to take over from you once you go back? So I think that's probably the reason why that paper was published and my name was there, because I had to go to ethics few rounds as a Malaysian to go and defend for that monoclonal antibody to be used in children. Never done before. And at the end of 2 years, I received a scroll, a completion of endocrinology training, and I was offered to stay. But I told them that you pay for me and I come back. Yeah. This is the most difficult part. Prof. Fatima is my mentor. Has always been the mentor of all of us in pediatrics. I did not regret at all proposing her name as a lifetime member for APES. She received it in 2014 during the APES Congress. And she passed away in August 2015, few weeks after our gathering at Prof. Noraza's house. As you can see there, there's so many of us pediatricians who were under her mentorship. And I got to also share the same stage with her a few months before in one of our workshops in Sabah. And one of the picture up there on your right side top is a raya gathering at her house in Uluyam. That's how she is. She brings us all together. Not just the Pits Endo, but everyone. Many times, when I travel with her, I'm the first male Pits endocrinologist. You can imagine I have 5 ladies more senior than me, and I'm the first male. And every time in a flight, the stewardess will ask me, do you want to sit with your mom? Every time. And I always have to tell them, this is my professor. If you can give me a seat next to her, I'll be very happy. And I know Prof. Fatima can always take a business class, but she always put me with her, and she's in economy class. At the age of 50 to 60 years old. She passed away at the age of 63. And you can imagine traveling to US in economy class just to make sure that I attend that with her. Difficult to find. The small team that we have, on your right bottom, I think that's the year when she passed away. That's when we actually celebrate birthday of the many of us. Myself, 2nd May. Tina was, I think, 3rd of May. Sister Zarina was also May. And my wife keep on complaining to me that I have to live with Taurus all the years. Because my mom-in-law, 30th April. Myself, 2nd May. My mom, 5th May. My aunt, 3 May. My uncle, 4th May. So when we had a gathering at one point, I did not have a picture, but it's all May. It's all Taurus. It's like, yeah. And I currently have a very good team. PITS Endo 2016, Prof. Yanti had to take over when I was appointed as the head of department. Prof. Adiba called me up and asked me to be the head of department. And I released the head of unit of PITS Endo to Prof. Yanti. So I've been the head of PITS Endo just for a short 1 year plus. I have to take over from Prof. Fatima, she passed away. But I felt that it's not fair when other people are doing the job, but you keep the headship. So Prof. Yanti did wonders, a lot more that she had done. A lot more PITS Endo have achieved under her. Thank you so much, Prof. Yanti. I know I leave it to you, but that's what she is. Yeah, very energetic. Sometimes I do not know where she gets the energy. You probably can't hear her voice today because she just came back from Pahang again. On Friday we were at Sunway. On Saturday she's in Pahang. That's her. I'm very lucky to have her. This is our department. The few years I was the head, 2016 to 2021, we had lots of makan-makan. Yeah, all the celebration, plus also birthday parties. Every month, not just for academy, but also for the MOs. We had that tradition. We celebrate everybody. Hopefully the HOs at that time and the MOs were happy with me. Some of them are here. Some of them are my mentee. I think that line there. The Sharida. Thank you so much. Head of department now in Temerloh. Come all the way. Many of them are my mentee. This is what Prof. Yang mentioned just now. Managed to get 20,000 from Merck and 100,000 from alumni 81, 82. Thank you, Prof. Nabila. If you're online, thank you so much from me to you and your alumni for actually giving us so much for us to develop this child development clinic, child development center. And now Prof. Shoba had really done wonders, really establishing the center. And we have many developmental pediatricians now have graduated from this unit. Thank you so much for that. Prof. Lucy took up this challenge. You know Prof. Lucy? Prof. Lucy is in PITS ICU. But she came and talked to me and said, I don't think I want to do PITS ICU after I retire. It's too much, right, Prof. Lucy? She wants to do more of public health. So I said, Prof, can you take care of this clinic? The only clinic until now, the only CHC clinic in a hospital that we have until now. The only one. All this with the blessing of PPUM. Thank you. I think Prof. Tunku, Prof. Nazira did really help us a lot. We also have the first adolescent ward in October 2017. Because we think that we need a place where we can keep our 10-year-old to 18-year-old in one ward, not together with all the small kids. And you can see how the decoration is in adolescent ward. They have videos, they have library, they have everything there. And we have sekolah dalam hospital as well, yeah, which I did not put up. I like to go to pediatric night. There will be one this Saturday with a theme of back to school. I do not know what I'm going to wear, but that's me. Every year I do attend. I usually bring my kids. You can see my kids and my wife there also, like the Arabic. My two kids there, my son, two daughters, my son, my wife. Yeah, these are probably the only small amount of time that I have, spend with them. Yep, that year I won the best dress. The next year I won the best dress. The next year I won the best dress. And one of the MO came and talked to me, come and tell me and said, I don't think I have a chance. We'll see what happened this year. I would like to also thank Prof. April, Prof. Adiba, and Prof. Young. Prof. Young was the previous Deputy Dean of Undergraduate. And Prof. Adiba, they called me up and asked me whether you can take over as a Deputy Dean. I was like, I'm the head of department. I'm looking forward to the end of the head of department, two terms. 2021, I should finish as a head of department. There you go, another job as an undergraduate dean. And now I have Prof. Young as the dean. Thank you so much, Prof. Young, for the belief. Thank you so much. And all the things that I did in UG will not be materialized without these people. You see all the Dayangs in front there? They are all in a nice color. They have so many different uniforms. They usually don't tell me. Okay? And this is our corporate baju, the blue color. So we all have to have that one. But you can see even their tudung is the same. Yeah? Kesian Mr. Kuhan. And myself. Okay? And previously we have another person, Kaide, who has left us. So, but you can see there's not many guys in any team. And that's the reason why things can get done on time. Because all these ladies are all there to make sure that everything is on top of whatever. Prof. Young, recently we had a oath taking. We had a nice photo. We had a convocation recently with all the coordinators, the program directors. Again, thank you so much, Prof. Jamuna. Thank you so much, Prof. Christina. And all the coordinators, MBBS, coordinators, biomed, coordinators, nursing, for being there, helping me out since 2021. My term will end December 2025. Very, very much looking forward for that. Another 1 year anyway. Just to show you how much we have grown, this is the number of students that we have. Every year there is an increase, be it MBBS, be it biomedical science, be it nursing. And in 2022, we managed to bring in 20 over staff nurses from PPUM to come in and do degree with us. Something that people don't think it can be done before, but it has started. There are some of them there. Can you all stand? Thank you so much. These people sacrifice. Year one, morning, they come to clinic, 8 o'clock until 2. 2 o'clock to 9, they go to their, 8 o'clock to 2, they come to class. 2 o'clock to 9, they go and work. The next morning, 8 o'clock, they come back to class. At the end of the first semester, a few of them, only 5, I think, had PNG less than 3. So I called them. I have to make sure PNG all above 3. Every single program. And I call and I talk to them and I ask, how else can I help you to make sure that you all got above 3? I'm not punishing them. I just want to know how else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I tell nursing department to do? Not me doing, nursing department, to make sure that they achieve good marks. And at the end of year one, everyone was above 3.0. I do not need to call them anymore until now. And they did very well in their practical because they are staff nurses anyway, with 20 years of experience. And more recently, this year, I think we have 3 of them here. Can you please stand? These are our MLT students. Diploma in MLT. Thank you so much. You can sit. Thank you. Before they even finish their MLT, they already entered biomedical science. Things can be done. That's not just me who change, but the pengurusan of PPUM. With the sokongan of our Dean, our TNCA, we can do this. We can change. We cannot just follow what is there all the time. We need to change to make sure that we have future generations of very good nurses who stays with us, very good biomedical science, the scientists who stays with us. For the MBBS program, graduate on time, as you can see, the numbers keep on increasing. We have to have 85% and above, and in the last 3 years, at least, we have achieved more than 90%. Yes, I do call the MBBS students who fail on their RSA, who fail one posting, because I ask, what else should I do? What else I can help you to make sure that you pass? We work with UPM psychologists. Thank you so much, Prof. Intan and Prof. Nisa from UPM. We work with UPM psychologists to help our students, to make sure they get through. And recently, 2 of the biomedical science students came and talked to me and told me and said to me, thank you so much. Because at their final year, both of them received the Dean's Award, even though they were very difficult during the during the second and third year. This is post-exam MBBS, so we had dinner. Usually, this is every year. We'll go somewhere else to get dinner, to celebrate, yeah, our coordinators, more than to celebrate our external examiners, okay? But we do this every year, year in, year out. In order to get good candidates to come into MBBS, I do a lot of talks at PASUM, Foundation Study. Our medical students do a lot of online talks to the future doctors, future MBBS students. And we always encourage them to help out with this so that we get the cream of the cream and they come back and become our academician. I have a number of them here that I actually whispered to them. Even though at that time I was not an undergraduate dean, deputy dean, that has come back and become an auto academic staff, surgical academic staff, internal medicine academic staff, not just pediatrics. Whispered to them just how Prof. Anwar Zaini whispered to me. You get them to stay. Because I think the bond is there. To keep an academic staff is not easy. Ask Prof. Yang. There's a lot of things outside there can lure you towards it. Even though you are 2-3 years before your retirement. Yeah, they still go. All right, and these are some of the photos recently. Abizir, thank you so much. And all my MOs, master students. 2017 to 2019, I was the president of the Malaysian Pediatric Association, the youngest president of MPA at that time. I got to meet this Highness, yeah, Royal Highness, talk about the anak pelarian, yeah. And if you can see the last one on your right bottom, that's the last bulletin written by MPA for me. I like to dress smart. It doesn't need to be expensive. My clothes are all made in Malaysia. None is tailor-made because I can wear size S, which nobody will buy at my age, right? So I get to buy all the 40%, 50% discount. And I get all these questions from everybody. Where did you get all this nice shirt and this and that? But I said, it's all made in Malaysia. I stopped ironing my own clothes for some time after I became head of department, and now it's my wife. But now it's actually sent to the laundry. But before this, I used to wash my clothes by hand. That's why I can still wear all my clothes 10, 15 years ago. In 2018 to 2020, I was the president of the Asia Pacific Pediatric Endocrine Society, the largest pediatric endocrine society in the world, again as the youngest president at that time. And COVID-19 came about. And we had to host online APES Congress. It was postponed from 2020 to 2021. And you can see how pathetic is it. It is, yeah, during online conference, a large conference, but you can see there's only a few of us because it's all online. You don't see people. So because of that, we say no more. It's no more online. You want to see people there, yeah? And as a president of APES, I got to be everywhere. I got to be part of the guidelines. I got to be part of steering committee for many of the pediatric endocrine, international guidelines and all that. So yeah, if you have the guts, if you have the feeling, if you have the will, you can be one. And now Prof. Yanti is now the secretary of the APES, Asia Pacific Pediatric Endocrine Society. We just cannot let go of Malaysia being in there. Thank you so much, Prof. Yanti, for taking up the baton. I just have to make sure that Malaysia is always there in the Asia Pacific. As an MPEDG, chair since 2020, only the last 4 years, but we did a lot. We did a lot. So many workshops, so many bengkel, so many whatever, you name it. Yeah, we did a lot with just a small number of us. Now we have 30 with 5 more as a fellows. Remember that I told you I was number 5. So over the, from 2009 until now, 15 years, we have another 30 of them. Now, let's move on. Just now was my journey, my life journey. Now as an academician, what do? I'm just going to divide into these 3, but it will be embedded into those things that I'm going to mention. I'm indebted to these people. Usually people say thank you at the end of it, but I think these people are the ones. I have 28 clinical masters pediatric who have completed their masters under me. You can find your picture there. Yeah. All right. And these are the ongoing, minus the first one there, because I cannot put her into that 28 because it's 9 times 3, 27. So, but Tan Yiting has actually published a paper recently. These are all my current master's pediatric students with 1 slab and 1 slide. Thank you, Daniel, for reciting a beautiful dua. And not just that, I also supervise those who are not under me. They came and asked for help. I said, fine, I can help you out and do your research and finish off your research. I do not have that many master science, but when I have, Dr. Zati, you here? Where are you? Mana? Yes, thank you so much. She's my first master's and my first PhD. Fast track from master's, go straight to PhD. She's from IMR and still currently working with me with some of grants, and more recently we managed to get NIH grant worth 650,000 to look at PCOS. So that's how you need to work with everyone. And I have with me here Puan Halimah, I do not know how you do it. She's very senior from nursing. I don't think I have that spirit like her to finish off her PhD at this age. I don't have a PhD, but she made me think I should do a PhD as well. At her age, you've retired more than 5 years, right? 10 years. 10 years? Yeah. You can do the calculation. You can do the math. The sheer hard work, the sheer determination to finish off her PhD, with also the help of Prof. Chong Mei Chan, the supervisor. It's not just me, it's Prof. Chong, okay? I just template saja, okay? Because it's a child health topic. And these are my pediatric endocrinology fellows. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for believing in me to be my fellows. Quite a number of them, and I received a very nice gift. I've read it. Thank you so much, Annie. And now Annie is one of our academic staff. I do not know what made you want to come in and join us early this year, but you're very much welcome. She must have seen something in the team. Yeah. So now look at the signs. Type 2 diabetes. We all know type 2 diabetes as an adult disease. We don't really think about type 2 diabetes as a children's disease. And because of that, in 1990, year 2000, people start to talk about type 2 diabetes in children, which behave worse than the adult because of the rapid progression of the beta cell destruction. And this is one of the paper that our group actually wrote, looking into the country-specific prevalence as well as incidence of type 2 diabetes in children. And this is one of the group that I managed to be in, basically because at one point, we were not known. Malaysia are not known. We are not known to the pharma company. When they come and ask me to do type 2 diabetes study, I said, well, good, we have so many of them. And I accepted the invitation through CIC. This is an industry initiated. After a year of recruitment, I told them I want to be part of your expert panel member. And the VP, Vice President, came back and told me, nope, we don't have such thing. At the end of second year, I did not recruit any new patient, purposely. Just run the one on maintenance. At the end of second year, they come back and say, now we have an expert panel, we want you to be in. We have to do that. If not, we are going to be just the people who recruit patients, but only get acknowledgement. University Malaya doesn't look at you as an acknowledgement. They look at you as an author. Okay? So that's how it is. That's how my journey in CIC. That's how I managed to publish all those New England Journal of Medicine papers and become first author in a few other papers because I'm part of the expert panel member by force. So when they know that you can do the job, every 2 years they will come and ask you whether you want to be there or not, because your voice are heard. And in that expert panel member, there are only 10 of us, and only 2 from Asia, 1 from India and 1 from Malaysia, 5 from the USA. But we will all work very closely together, and we had many papers coming out, not just from the investigations that we do for new treatment, but also like this, the systematic review, looking at all the new things there. And we all know type 2 diabetes children can also end up like adult. They can also die prematurely because of all the complications. And the paper that we look at also shows that not just type 2 diabetes, they also at a higher risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, hypertension, microalbuminuria, as well as cardiovascular risk. Same thing, we look at the rapid progression and we show that 20 to 35% of them had a decline of beta cell function 4 times greater than adult. That tells you why type 2 diabetes children have complications much earlier. Okay, and these treatment options that we have are basically for adults. For pediatric, we only have metformin, and the next one is insulin. We don't have the luxury of 8 different options like adults. And for that matter, in 2014, Novo Nordisk came about and wanted to look into the use of GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1, and invited us to be part of the study. Again, as I said, they come here, they want to tell you, recruit. That's what it is, and I told them, okay, fine, I'm still new. I'm not somebody that people know. I recruit. 1 year later, again, I asked for the expert panel. Same thing, nope. Yeah, but you know the story. Okay? You become the expert panel. You be part of the publication committee. Yeah? So we managed to get these things done. You know GLP-1 nowadays, everybody wants it. Those with obesity. It's out of stock in the market because everybody wants it. And it works. It really works for our patient. But it's expensive. The good thing when I do all these studies is that they get it free. And you can help them to get this medication for free. Yeah? And this is where the first paper came out in 2019 in New England Journal of Medicine. And I'm part of the publication committee, so part of them, so my name is there. So at least I make, if not the faculty or the university, at least myself proud that I have fight to be part of that. And this just to show you what does it do. Reduction in HbA1c, reduction in blood sugar, but it doesn't help much in terms of the weight because of the dosing. And because of that paper, FDA approved the treatment for pediatric type 2 diabetes. That's how you can do this. It's at the international level. So that paper alone gives you the whole evidence to say that yes, you can use, and this is another one, DPP-4 inhibitor. DPP-4 inhibitor actually inhibit the destruction of GLP-1. And in adult, it is well. It can be used, very good effect, and we did it in children. We again received the most number of, we managed to get most number of patients. I received this award. I was flown to New York to receive this award from the Vice President of MSD, whom many of the Malaysian MSD people have never even met him. I remember went to New York in a business class. That's the first time, I think. Arrived there today, received the award, tomorrow, come back the next day. Because of all the work that I have, which I cannot leave. And very recently, late last year, from Novo Nordisk, you can see, I thought I received only 1 award, but there's 7 awards, CIC. And all this thanks to my study coordinator and my team, Prof. Yanti. Dr. Mina was once there, Dr. Mazida, now Annie and Shadia. These are the team in CIC. And also not to forget Prof. Noraza and Prof. Naha, whom, although not endocrinologists, we wrote them in so that they can also claim some grants and be part of the team. And I was asked to become the first author of one of the paper, which I jolly well take it up. Again, to be the first Malaysian to be there. Yeah. So yes, we did. We did. Our team did. Our team now is known in the world of type 2 diabetes. SGLT2 is another drug, another new medication that we are embarking on. We have completed the recruitment, we just maintenance. Yeah, I think even the maintenance has completed. We're just waiting for everybody else to stop, to finish, to see what's the answer to it. And for all those things that we have done, ISPAD, International Society for Pediatric and Adolescent Diabetes, Guidelines 2022, has included GLP-1 as the second-line treatment after metformin, based on those papers that came out from the study that we were involved. Was involved in that study. Okay? Now, obesity. I'm not proud to say that Malaysia is one of the obese countries. Yes, we do. 30% of our adolescent boys, 25% of our adolescent girls are overweight or obese. And in NHMS data, the number keep on increasing. Obesity, yeah? And these are the signs that you all can see. Acanthosis nigricans, as easy as just looking at it and say that you have pre-diabetes, you are insulin resistance. But a lot of time parents keep on saying, this is just daki. Daki takkan hilang. This daki will still be there unless you remove your visceral fat, which is difficult. We need to do a lot of education. A lot of our patients who come in don't think it's a problem. So again, for that, we did a lot of study. We were part of the study using liraglutide. Again, the same medication, but this time for the younger children, 6 to 12 years old. And again, because of my previous history, the track record, I was asked to be part of the expert panel, and hence the other New England Journal of Medicine paper this year in September. Just to show you how much liraglutide helped to reduce the obesity, the BMI, and the weight, right? And as I said just now, for adults, this is probably the most sick after medication to reduce obesity. All this would not happen. The late Sister Sim, who passed away last week, Monday, she passed away at the age of 80. Many a time I told her, if ever I have half of your energy when I'm 80, I'm so happy already. But, yeah, she left us, very sudden. I paid a visit together with Prof. Yanti to visit her husband and her daughter. She was very peaceful. The top picture, the photo, was just, I think, not even 2 months before her death. You can see how lively she is. She's the backbone of all our CIC project. She only takes my project. She doesn't do anyone else's project. For now, we have 5, and all 5 are under her and Sister Lim. I'm not sure that Sister Lim is here today, because I had to sign one severe adverse event this morning. And she's going to go overseas tonight. I think she probably have left. But these are the 2 SCs that no one, everybody would love to have. Don't talk much, really take care of the patient. And one of the study that we did on vaccination, immunization for PCV15, we were the first country in the world to finish recruitment of 40 patients. Start immunization at 2 months, can you imagine? And Michelle and a few were part of my team. And it goes into COVID at that time. And we still managed to finish that with their help, just the two of them. My BFF is one of the other study that I was involved with. This is an interventional study in school. So many a time we have all these studies that we had in school. And yeah, all the experience that I have. And all these papers are coming from Dr. Zati and my other master student, Mona, who can't be here. I think she's online. Unfortunately, or fortunately, she couldn't finish her master's, but despite not finishing her master's, she still published. I can tell you that. She still published, and her last paper was just a month ago under this project, My BFF. And we have books under that. We did a lot of intervention. We did show that there is improvement with the intervention that we can do in school. There's another 8 papers currently under review, just under this My BFF. So hoping to see them fruitful in the next few months. My heart, Prof. Hazrin, Prof. Nabila, and Prof. Tintinsu. They wrote me in, and Prof. Fatima, in 2013 to start looking at the cross-section and longitudinal study of adolescents. We had this book came up. It has an IP. And we have a questionnaire, 24-hour diet recall. Questionnaire based on 7-day diet recall. And from my heart alone, we have 21 published manuscripts on obesity-related factors, not including vitamin D, anemia, and so on. So altogether, we have almost 35 papers with almost 5 million grants. It's a longitudinal study looking at adolescents at the age of 13, 15, and 17 years in Perak, Selangor, and KL. So we move, we go everywhere to get their blood. And that's the first time public health study in adolescents that actually take blood. When I was asked to come in and join this study, I told them that I do not want to look into just the questionnaire. I want to see what their blood looks like. And yes, because of that, we have loads and loads of data, and we actually publish loads of it. All this are there. You can always go and find them under PubMed. Just type my name there. Last name Jalaludin. If you can't find Muhammad Yazid, it's fine, because it's my father's name there. Jalaludin is the last name. It's many, many, many papers in very respected journals, all the international journals. Just going through with you all that on obesity related. Yeah, and because of all the work, I was invited to be part of this guideline, Asia Pacific Consensus Statement on Integrated 24-Hour Activity Guidelines for Children and Adolescents. Again, people will find you. People will find you to be part of the guidelines for all the work that you do. And I was asked by MOH to be part of many committees, obesity committees, stunting committees, 10-year plan for children, health, and so on. And these are all signed by the DGs. And more recently, this one, Plan Tindakan Kesihatan Kanak-kanak from 2021 to 2030, based on the work that you do. So it's not just research. Put it out there. People will see. People will call you in. People will want to get your input to make sure that our children are better taken care of in future. My first involvement was under the Academy of Science Malaysia on prioritizing food policy option to reduce obesity in Malaysia. In 2012, we published this paper, a book basically. And in 2014, for 2 years, it was dormant. And we were all like, oh my God, what's going on? This is under ASN. And in 2014, MOH took that and actually make a policy under MOH, a good amount of whatever that we have said in that policy. So I was very happy that whatever that we put in does not stay there. It go on and become something until now. And I got to go to Hello Doctor, if any one of you have not seen. Hello Doctor is Syarahan langsung, yeah, at 5 p.m. on Sunday, usually. I was invited by Rizwana, who came to our clinic to interview patient and interview me on Hello Doctor. I was in newspapers on obesity. I was with this lady. If you not known her, I actually asked for her, can I take selfie with you? She's so nice and told me it's okay. So that's her. Because recently I was invited to be one of the people who sitting in a dinner together with her in one table. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to eat at that point in time? Because the person who runs this program actually wants to commemorate the 50 years of work of Tan Sri Agustin Paul, our palm oil guru, as well as the Olympic, this group of chefs actually won 2 silver medals at Olympiad, cooking Olympiad. So they want to commemorate those 2 people, and then they asked me to join. I was like, I actually sent back an email. Why do you actually email me? I thought it's a scam. You know, why did you invite me to come for this? And the mantan, you know, Permaisuri Agong is going to be the person. I was like, why? Then I got received an email instantly to say that because of the work that you have done, this. I said, okay, fine, I'll attend. And at that time when I attend, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to talk to? What am I going to say? But she's super, super nice. You can just talk to her like that. And the other 2 academicians that were there with me was telling me, oh, you saved the day. Because everything she asked is about obesity in children, anemia in children, stunting in children. And the other 2 scientists next to me was like, oh yeah, it's luckily you are here. Yeah, that's how, yeah, selamat, yes. Type 1 diabetes is a different type of diabetes. It's because of destruction of beta cell. We know it's autoimmune related. Previously, during my time, we only know you diabetes, nothing else can be done. But now, people can do prevention. You can stop the progression of diabetes, autoimmune related disorder. Yeah. And anti-CD3 monoclonal antibody, I mentioned just now that I did the trial in CHOP. That was in 2007 to 2009, published in 2013, more than 10 years back. And more recently, in NEJM, there is a paper to show monoclonal antibody can prevent type 1 diabetes, and ADA has approved, this is the first medication that is approved by FDA to delay the onset of type 1 diabetes. I'm very, very fortunate to work with this medication more than 10 years back. And some of the patients who come and talk to me, the parents who have children, who have not had children with type 1, but they themselves are type 1, was asking whether they can get this medication for the children. And I can tell you the cost. It's 800,000 ringgit Malaysia for 2 weeks of infusion. Nobody is going to give you the money. Yeah, but in the US now at Barbara Davis Center, they gave it for free for Americans only to prevent these people from having type 1 diabetes. Yeah, I was also involved in a few ISPAD guidelines, fasting in Ramadan, as well as the ambulatory pediatrics. Yeah, so when you are at certain level of your life and a lot of research that you do, people will call you in and ask you to be part of the guidelines. And ISPAD guidelines is one of the guidelines that people really look up for in the world of type 1 diabetes. Yeah, and to be part of the author in the guidelines is something that is very, very satisfying. I wouldn't ask for more. Yeah. And these are some of the other early work that I did during my master's project. I translated 2 questionnaires, QOL for Type 1 and SDSCA, and this is currently being used a number of times. Yeah, we translate and we validate, and because of that, later on, Dr. Teh Chi Giap and Dr. Chew actually asked me to help with their translation, with all the other quality of life papers that they have actually also published on neurology as well as gastro. Yep, Type 1 diabetes, you get to go to radio station, BFM, you get to be in Selamat Pagi Malaysia, you get to take photo with the current Menteri Komunikasi, if you don't know him, yeah, during his visit to PPUM. Yeah. So we also had recently received 5 million grant from Novo Nordisk, work with MEMS to run this 5-year program of CDIC, Changing Diabetes in Children, and I'm the co-chair for this program. And we recently had a lot of information that we're gonna disseminate to patients, to community, to HCPs. Yeah, we even train HCPs. We want to do differently. We are number 28 in CDIC throughout the world, but our program is totally different. Totally different from the other 27 countries. So we had HCP program, we have these Type 1D warriors that we want to get them to be our warriors, to speak about them. And I'm very happy to note that with all the work that we did during that time, that week, I was already very exhausted because I just came back from Singapore, from Cebu, receiving my award. I missed my son's convocation. Yeah. Went to ATTD Asia to deliver a talk, came back, had an insulin pump workshop. The next day, clinic. Friday, go for this for 3 days. But I can tell you, it's all worth it because you have a superb team. Again, I cannot deny Prof. Yanti's help. She's the backbone. I think she has the energy of more than 10 people. Yeah. And on top of that, she has to go back home and cook. That's what she told me. Luckily, I don't have to. And sorry, my wife always only see me after 9 o'clock every day. It's tough, it's difficult, it's a lot of work. But we have all the things. We do diabetes camp every year. We have all the information about Type 1 diabetes. And this is about growth. And we talk about growth when so many factors about growth, yeah? Genetic, hormones, environment, and all that. And what I want to look at more is into the nutrition. And we all know when we talk about nutrition, it's about calcium, vitamin D, as well as hemoglobin that make sure that you grow very well. And we know this is all very important, yeah? And vitamin D double the absorption of calcium, and we know vitamin D mostly coming from the sun, but how many of us go out in the sun from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day to get the vitamin D? None of us. Whatever papers that you look at, children, adolescents, young adults, retired teachers, whoever, vitamin D deficiency prevalence in Malaysia is almost 70% in whichever, okay? And yes, we need to look at, if any of you have cramps, have aches here and there, please check your vitamin D. I think it's all because of that. And we did a lot of study to look into this vitamin D through the My Heart data, through my master students that I put up just now, Puan Suryawati. She looked into the diet and vitamin D and BMC, bone mineral content as well, yeah. And Prof. Lee Wesia, Prof. Lucy, myself, we look into vitamin D in our babies in CHC. So who says CHC cannot produce anything? Child health clinic, you can get that. You can do studies even in child health clinic. Yeah? And we have all this systematic review. I work with those people in Nigeria, in Indonesia, to publish these papers on malnutrition, looking into malnutrition in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Nigeria. And we publish in all these journals. And because of that, I got to present to the Ministry of Health during the launch of this 1,000 Day of Life. I got to present a pocket talk, 30 minutes given to me to present about malnutrition, stunting, anemia in children, and I was part of the forum member, and I actually mentioned to the DG as well as the minister that we have to mandate the use of the child health record, both in public and private. As long as you do not mandate it, nobody will do it. So hopefully in the next 1-2 months, that will come up. And again, I got to be in Hello Doctor in a number of times, talking about bantut, tumbuh sarang tidak normal, and so on. And again in Wacana, together with late Adibano at that point. Yeah, with Dr. Lee Boon Chai, we actually validated these apps, growth journey apps, where you can take the photo of the child and it get automatically transferred into the growth chart. It was validated by us, Sister Zarina, another Iron Lady in our team, actually did all this together with Prof. Yanti again. So many things that they do, which I only tell them, please do this. I try and get all the grants. I can go and sweet talk with everybody else. Yes, we managed to get this in on, and now it's still being used. Yeah, and I'm now the chair of I'm Fat for Growth, who was previously chaired by Prof. Lee. Prof. Lee Wesia, the guru of nutrition, gastro. Yeah, our mentor as well. So he said after his retirement, he doesn't want to continue. So he passed on the baton. So now it's on me to make sure that I'm Fat continues. And I'm Fat is the only one. I'm Fat Malaysia is the only one that still continue until now. And we're working very hard about this. Prof. Lucy championed this. PPR Lembah Subang is our anak angkat. This anak angkat has been there for more than 7 years, right, Prof. Lucy? Even before COVID. And I remember during COVID, pediatric department collect money. And Dr. Camilla, Prof. Camilla, you here? I thought I saw you just now. Yes, sorry. Prof. Camilla actually collect all the money. And what did she send, do you know? It's a van of eggs. A van, not just 1 tray or 2 tray, but a van of eggs to the people there to make sure they get some protein during that COVID period where people just cannot move around. That's what we did as a department. So as a department, we are still having this weekly, right? I think Prof. Lucy, once a month we go. We bring medical students. Thank you so much, MedSoc. MedSoc has always been there. See those people on the red shirt are all from MedSoc. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prof. Khairul, the previous mentor of MedSoc, yeah, allowing them to attend and be part of it. Now, iron is another thing. We all think it's nothing, but it's a big thing. Yeah? Iron is very important for the brain, immunity, as well as growth. And we have a very high prevalence of anemia in our women and adolescent girls. And it's not addressed. You can see there, 1 in 4 Malaysian children younger than 5 are anemic from NHMS data 2019. 4 in 10 younger than 4 are anemic as well. NHMS worse, 46.5%. Yeah, those less than 5 years who are also anemic. We published a few papers on that from my heart, and I was also called by MOH to be part of the steering committee to look into anemia in children. we did our own study using the non-invasive method to look into hemoglobin level, non-invasive, just like the saturation oxygen, but this is saturation hemoglobin. 6 different centers throughout Malaysia. This is the number that we have. 1 in 3 of those less than 3 years actually anemic. This grant I received from industry. We park under CIC. Okay? Anemia is something that is important, although not directly related to me, but I take that up and do it. And we finished the study within 6 months, 1,200 plus kids below 3 years old, with only 7 of them refused to have that measurement done. So it's very, very important to look into. And because of that, I was in all this, even in Chinese newspaper. Some of my patients come and show me, Prof, this is you in the Chinese. I do not know what does it say, but yep, that's me, because the face is there. And I got to meet Datuk Nancy very recently. That's Datuk Nancy Shukri, the Menteri Pembangunan Wanita dan Keluarga dan Masyarakat. So we want to make sure anemia is heard in children and in women. So we do a lot of advocacy on that as well now. Right? And on top of that, these are some of our first as well, novel mutations. We are not very far away. Dr. Alfred there. He was one of PhD student of Prof. Fatima and Prof. Sarni, and myself as a young lecturer in Endo was the one that he come to talk about his study. So he did how many? Can you see? The novel mutation for thyroid dyshomogenesis, which people don't look at before. We found all those novel mutations and we showed that it's there. So Malaysian is in the map. Yeah? We also have this X-linked adrenal hypoplasia, novel mutation, as well as permanent neonatal diabetes, also novel mutation. Our scientists are not very lag behind. It's just how much we work with them as a clinician. This is also something very dear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kelly is at the back there. If not for the mother who come and plead me to ask me to look into use of growth hormone for Prader-Willi, I would not stop. I would not start growth hormone for Prader-Willi patients. If not for the mother. I, at that point in time, Pete's Endo Group don't think it's worth it. I brought this up to Singapore. They say no. But I persistently continued. In 2011, started the use of growth hormone. And you can see now. Kelly, do you mind stand up? Don't want? That's fine. Thank you. You can see the phenotype is totally different when you start very young. And now we have an MDT. Shadia spearhead that. An MDT multidisciplinary team. We have genetic. Thank you, Prof. Anna, for respiratory. Thank you, Prof. Tong, genetic, who come together in the same clinic on Tuesday afternoon, once in a week, that we run our Prader-Willi syndrome clinic. And Cik Azhar, thank you so much for coming. Cik Azhar is a parent support group for Prader-Willi National. And I work closely with him to get this heard and hopefully getting growth hormone to be used in this group of children. We have shown, and again, we were the first one in Southeast Asia. Until now, there's only 1 or 2 other centers. Because what? Because we have a full force. We have the sleep study, Prof. Ek is now championing, and Prof. Anna. We have our spine team, our adult spine surgeon, who willingly see our patients who have scoliosis. Although they don't come to our clinic, but they do see our patients very willingly, easily referred. Another group, rare endocrine disease, X-linked hypophosphatemia. Recently, there was a new medication, Burosumab, monoclonal antibody. 800,000 again for a 20 kilogram child. You need to do advocacy work. So that's why we have all this advocacy work. Yeah, we call them in, we talk to them about it, we create support group so that they can voice their concern. Usually, the higher level don't listen to the doctors. They will listen to the patients. But we have to help them, and that's truly enough what Prof. Tong had done to the rare disease. And because of the work that we did, I was part of the consensus guideline again for Asia Pacific to look into X-linked hypophosphatemic rickets. And again, these are some of the studies coming from Child Health Clinic under Prof. Lucy on anemia, on vitamin D, and so on. Child Health Clinic can also give you papers, yeah, if anyone do not believe. You should do Child Health Clinic in your hospital to make sure that your students know what it is. Not just undergraduate, but the postgraduate, master students. It's not just about vaccine. And all this work that I did, KJ was there, berkeluar sekejap. Yeah, and KJ mentioned at the start of the podcast, this is the first medical podcast that he does. That I was privileged to be the first one, talking about vaccine, talking about the PCV15, if you all have not heard. PCV15, the one that I said just now, 40 kids that we actually enroll. We finished the first. I'm part of the study team, published the paper, and they want to talk about the vaccine. And yes, we went there. It's on my son's birthday. He was so happy. That's him there, on 19th of June. So he got to meet both Shahril and KJ because he loved their podcast. So fine, that's your birthday. I don't have to spend money, except for just a simple dinner after that. Yeah. Okay, your MSc, so many. You can see the one in the middle, the whole board. Whoever patient, they usually wait for me nearly 2 hours to see me, although it's in your MSc. I'm sorry for that, because of the number of patients that I have. Whenever they come in, they will always draw something already because of they're very bored waiting outside, right? So all the papers that they bring in are all on that board. You cannot even see the board now. So full of papers. And Staff Nurse Ain, who has been with me for some time, and the other staff nurse in UMSC, asked me, do you want to arrange this and put it there or take each one of them? I said, no, just give me the board. That's how much they have. I mean, the acknowledgement. GCK. This family came to me because they already exhausted on what is going on with their son. When I diagnosed the son, if you look at it, the index case, this one, I actually diagnosed the mom, the grandmother, the maternal auntie, and everybody else with GCK and stopped all their medications for type 2 diabetes that they have been on for many, many years. Some of them are even on insulin. And the grandmother came and talked to me and said to me, can you take me as your patient? And I said, no, I only take care of children. I don't take care of above 65. So that's Prof. Sharul. Nanti Prof. Sharul tak boleh cari makan. Yeah? Yes, GCK mutation. Something that is there in our community but not looked into. We also have this person, the Laron syndrome, 1 to 9 in 1 million people, growth hormone resistant. This picture here is just about 1 year plus before this picture. You can see the difference. He achieved nearly 40 centimeter in 1 year plus just by using Increlex, the IGF-1 treatment, again the first in Southeast Asia. I'm not sure, among Asia, I'm not sure, but I know it's in Southeast Asia because we are in the Asia Pacific. Yeah? But the mother is the one that you should be thankful to because she championed the financial bit of it. We only take care of the medical part, write all the reports, give to the mother. Mother went on and meet everybody at the top higher rank and get about 1 million to actually treat this person who also have Laron and this person. This person, this elder brother had it but not treated. And it's a bit too late already when we want to treat the younger child. We can always be the first. We can. That's why we need to change. We can be the change agent. And for those things that I've done, this is the last straw. The award that I received. Maybe one of the youngest one. Because all the awardees, all the people who received the award, all the recipients at that time, they are all in their 70s, I can tell you that. They are somebody in their country who had done a lot. Yeah. And these things couldn't happen without the strength that I get from my family. I know my mom is very sick. But she came today. Thank you, Mak. Terima kasih, Mak. Terima kasih. My brother, Kak Yang, Abang Lan, we take turn to take care of my mom. A few weeks in my brother's house and a few weeks in my house. Probably that's the only thing that we can do now. Yeah. But without all this, without the strength of the family, and I thank God that my kids are well and healthy. My wife is healthy, I know, but she has some other illness, but we always close two eyes, usually. Yeah. But they have been given, my family have been given good health. And I don't need to think so much of it. Even though sometimes I felt very guilty that everything is on my wife. She never say a word. Tak pernah complain. She just do it. Those of you who received the paperback, if you want to look inside, those are prepared by my two daughters and my wife. The doodle was drawn by my youngest daughter, Patricia. That's why you see the name up there. They did it. I just tell them, I just want to do this, this, and that, and they said, okay, fine, we'll do it. Thank you so much for that. And this is my last slide. Thank you so much for everything. To my family. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Yazid. I think the atmosphere in this auditorium reflects the profound impact of your words, passion, and also optimism in all of us. I'm tearing. There were many moments throughout that speech that I teared a little bit, but lastly, I teared because I didn't get a goodie bag. But okay, but all right, so I would like to invite Professor Yang Farida back to the podium to summarize and conclude today's inaugural lecture. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, not many of us, I think, can claim that you were born in a UNESCO Geoheritage Park. So I know, Yazid, that you come from humble beginning, but just like that humble beginning elevates itself to UNESCO heritage level, you have exploded in the international level similar to your humble beginnings. And while I appreciated all the pictures, at the back of my mind, I keep on asking, what is a Malay muffin? And if I admit I do not know what's a Malay muffin, does that not make me a Malay? So we will have discussions later. Oh, Baulu. Okay, Baulu. I'm not the only one, right? Please tell me I'm not the only one. But what a journey that was. What a journey. Just like how UNESCO elevated his home village, he elevated himself. And we went through Yazid's journey in him being a clinician and a scientist, uncovering and ensuring that everything that we do is evidence-based and finding treatment to things that have not been discovered. He has shown himself to be the consummate educator, ensuring that the people around him graduate on time and embracing lifelong learners, as how he did with the nurses in UMMC and with your PhD student who completed it after 60. Is that correct? So he also showed leadership with, I'm just going to name some of the acronym: APES, MPEDG, I'm fed, whatever it is, but leadership nonetheless very, very strong. He has shown it through being wonderful mentor and role model to all his fellows and his master student and undergraduate student. And he showed it through his advocacy work. My BFF, my hearts, whatever you want to say it, but there is a strong sense of making sure that whatever that you do in the lab or in research is being brought out there and told to the public to make an impact to the society. And that's Yazid as an advocacy. And he did all that while winning Best Dress and wearing Aladdin costume. I do not know many of us that can claim the same. But what I learned from this, and as we say, being lifelong learners, you learn, you continue to learn. What I learned from this, and I suspect this is my postulation, hypothesis. I think he did this via two very strong personal integrity or principle that he has. Number one is always asking, how can I help? And sometimes the question is asked to another person, but sometimes it's an internal, how can I help, to general, global, regional, local situation. And number two, it is the audacity of being the audacity of asking that I need to be counted and not settling for anything less than being seen and being heard and putting yourself on the map, at the same time putting University Malaya, Faculty of Medicine, and Malaysia on the map. And that, in a nutshell, is Professor Yazid Jalaludin. Emak kepada Profesor Yazid, saya pasti you are mesti bangga sangat dengan anak puan. As how we are all very, very proud of you. Well done, Yazid. Well done, Professor Yazid Jalaludin. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Yang, for so gracefully chairing our today's inaugural lecture. And our most sincere gratitude to Professor Yazid for sharing this inspirational journey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our event for today. Thank you for sharing this remarkable moment with Professor Dr. Muhammad Yazid Jalaludin. And to commemorate today's event, we will be having a photography session with the Dean. I would like to call upon the family members to have a photo with Prof. Yazid. This is mine. Okay, all right. And if the rest in the hall can stand by for a group photo later. We will be having a group photo, so if you guys can stay back for a little bit longer. Yeah. Can we hold the audience for a little bit longer, just for a photo session with them? Can everybody stay in the hall? Thank you. People aren't going. All right, so if everybody can remain seated, so we will invite Prof. Yazid. Okay, yeah, we will be taking a photo with the audience.
Okay, everybody please stand up and gather in the center. Sekali dayang-dayang join the group photo.
Don't you worry.